Hey Bear fans, so tonight we're going to be discussing the tale of a man who has fallen out with his love. He's away from her, and the only form of communication is via telephone. But she is unwilling to come to the phone, and her mother is there to take the call while she's getting ready to leave. She doesn't want anything to do with the man, and his desperation grows. That's Sylvia's mother on the surface. However, in this series, the surface is only the beginning. Welcome to the Eternal Disco, where I'll be doing deep dives on some of the music that speaks to me. There is an accompanying Spotify playlist to listen along. There will be a link in the description for that. There may be moments of silence in these dives as I also listen along to the song. So, let's dive. Sylvia's mother, on the surface, is doing her daughter a favour. But let's listen to the actual things the mother is saying, shall we? So, Sylvia's too busy to come to the phone. Fair. She's trying to. There, I'll put my teeth back in. She's trying to start a new life of her own. Again, it's fair. We don't know how long the man's been away. Why? We don't know how long he's going to be away for. We also don't know why Sylvia is starting a new life. But we'll go with it. All innocent so far. Sylvia's mother said, Sylvia's happy, so why don't you leave her alone? Okay, on the surface, mother being protective of her daughter, protecting her from her ex. We can assume that they aren't together if she's off to start a new life. Then the bombshell, the operator. The unusual villain of the piece. 40 cents more for the next 3 minutes. It is so real, but also so crushing. It's something that, obviously, if you're younger than maybe even 30, you wouldn't understand. Payphones were a thing, you have to pay, put money in, and make a call. So for the time when this song came out, it was literally the reality of everyone listening. So I can imagine the poor guy just wants to speak to Sylvia, his love, and is now scrambling through his pockets to find the change to carry on the conversation. This repeats throughout the song, but there's more on that later. So next, the first we actually hear from the guy. Okay, he just wants to talk to his love, to Sylvia, and say goodbye. Now, that's simple, but I feel there's more to it. He'll only keep her a while. This indicates that he feels that they have things to discuss. It's not a quick, simple call that he's going through. He's wanted to talk, and I think the tell her goodbye is more of a test to see if there's anything left to save. But who knows? Let's carry on. Sylvia's mother then updates the guy on what's happening. Yeah. She's telling him that Sylvia's packing. She's going to marry some guy down Galveston Way. So she's marrying someone else. I mean, she doesn't even sugarcoat it. This is absolutely brutal delivery, but it is believable. But, yet again, there'll be more on this later. So the next line is my personal indicator of nefarious intent from the mother. Please don't say anything to make her start crying and stay. Please don't say anything to make her start crying and stay. Now, this rings huge alarm bells for me. Make her start crying and stay. That to me is not the words of someone who's outwardly confident that Sylvia has made her mind up. Okay? Sylvia clearly isn't 100% sold on leaving. If she was, the mother would just say, Sylvia, just tell him. Tell him you're getting on with it. Tell him you moved on. Okay? But the mother isn't. The mother's not actually handing the phone to Sylvia. At no point do we hear her offer Sylvia the phone. or communicate in any way to Sylvia, who is on the phone. Again, more on that later. Um, so we can now see that there's a shift starting to creep in. The mother's looking less like protective mother and more like a barrier. She's definitely seeming more like a barrier now. And then there comes the next bit of the song. This is, for me, the possibly the most devastating bit on of the song. So the mother now just goes straight for the jugular, just raining hammer blows on this poor bloke as his world is literally shattering in front of him. He's held hostage and bears witness to it all from a seat with no power. So the next few lines definitely cement for me the mother's intention. So she tells the bloke that Sylvia's catching the 9 o'clock train. On the surface, that's not too bad, shall we say. However, it's the next bit. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, just listen to that bit of the track. So yeah, it does. It gets me every single time. She tells Sylvia to take an umbrella because it's starting to rain. She then completely and utterly hides the identity of who's on the phone. She pretends it's just a random stranger calling or someone who she's rather polite and chummy with. At no point does she indicate at all that this person might be someone who's trying to talk to Sylvia. She hides Sylvia from it at all. And you can hear this in the delivery of the next line. It sounds like it's being performed by being sung through gritted teeth. There's that much hurt and desperation. The desperation's bordering on anger because he is so powerless to this woman who's stopping him from being able to communicate with the love of his life. It That's where the slightly deeper um, deeper meaning to me of the song goes. But now, my take on the story. Are we sitting comfortably? Then I'll start. So this is my filling in the blanks, shall we say? It's not ever stated in the song, in the lyrics. This is literally just my mind connecting the dots and filling in the blanks. So, just to reiterate, this is my theory, and I'm not saying that this is what Dr. Hook or any of the members of that band, or even the guy who wrote it, whose name slips my mind. I do apologise. Um, According to Spotify, it's Sheldon Silverstein, but it really wasn't. It might have been. That might be his full name. I know him as Shell Silverstein. Yeah. Anyway, according to Spotify, that's who wrote it, and apparently it was a true story of his. However, my take. So Sylvia loves the guy, always has, but the mother never approved. So it's either the guy was the wrong sort, from the wrong side of the tracks, just not in his mother's social circle of acceptance. But it's love, and the mother can't do anything about it, except intercept the guy's attempts to communicate. So in my mind, here we go. The mother is intercepting many more communication attempts, letters, phone calls, the such, and the guy is away with something unavoidable. Maybe it's a military deployment, maybe it's through work, maybe it's just he physically cannot be in the same vicinity as this Sylvia. But the mother has jumped on it as a chance to drive a wedge and drive it deep between them. So she drips poison about the guy not calling or writing, telling Sylvia all sorts. She convinces her to get over the guy. Meanwhile, The mother, crafty, evil, not very nice, finds a suitor for Sylvia. One that means Sylvia can marry into the family for status or wealth or both. But I feel that that marriage is a sham. And I'm convinced no. Let's leave that one for a different deep dive. Yeah, I think if you enjoy this one, you'll enjoy that one. Um, right. So basically, what I'm saying is my take on this is the classic. The guy on the phone isn't a bad guy. It's a case of the classic wicked, well, in a case with wicked mother, but wicked stepmother. You know, your standard Disney fairy tale sort of thing. And the mother is denying her daughter the chance of true love and forcing her to marry into status. So that's the bottom line of it. I feel that the mother has found an opportunity to split these people up, and she's taking it. She's grabbing it with both hands, and she's also found a potential suitor so that the daughter can marry into status or wealth or both. And yeah, I don't feel that's potentially how most people see that song. They just see it as a nasty breakup song where the breakup's already happened and this is just the echoes, the final last ditch attempt. But I'm convinced if Sylvia's mother ever did say who was on that phone, Sylvia would run to the phone in tears because the bottom of her heart she is just hoping that that phone call happens to be from the guy who it actually is from, so he can essentially, in all true romantics, stop her from making a mistake and be with the person that she truly loves. Anyway, join me next week where I'll be doing another deep dive. If you don't agree with my analysis, let me know. I love these discussions to the point where I've actually made an accompanying Discord server for this exact sort of thing. If you've got a theory on a song, drop it in there and I'm happy to discuss with it. Really am. But anyway, so long for now, and as always, stay cozy.